Hey guys and gals, this is Nathan. Welcome back to more of this walkthrough coloring of these 4 template pages. Let's see, so last we left off, we were coloring the female nurse. So I just went ahead and got a little bit more done here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do this last one, and we'll be done with our character. So yeah, I'm still kind of just working like in an assembly line type of thing, going from one to the next. Of the same character for the most part. So go ahead and do that. And I have my brush. Oops. Just kind of block in fairly roughly where my shadows are going to go. And you can see from the shadow on the neck, the light's kind of coming this way across her. So I'm just going to be using that as my indication. So the shadow is going to be on the right side of her face. And cast shadow from her nose here. And from the lips. So, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'll just go take my medium tone, my base tone here. And I'll just go back in. Kind of blend this a little, blend it in a little bit more. Soften up those edges a bit. Oops. Again, just using my bracket keys. Open brackets to shrink the brush, and then close brackets to make the brush bigger. Nice little shortcut. Saves you time from having to pull up your palettes all the time. Yeah, I think that looks alright. And now just go in with our highlight here. I just have my brushes both on opacity 100%, flow 100%. I'm just using the pressure sensitivity of the my Cintiq, letting that do the work for me. So if I want not as much color down, then I just won't push as hard on the brush, letting the brush do some work. And you can see just kind of making quick little movements, almost like I'm painting with a brush or something. Just kind of go with a little soft brush. Just kind of want to even that out a little bit. Right in here, it's a little bit too harsh. right, and let's see, for flattered in a lip color, or yeah, some kind of lip on her, but we're just gonna get rid of that. So that'll all be in shadow. Some highlight. That looks good. For our eyes, let's get this very subtle shadow color here. Grab this shadow color. Right there, looks good. Oops. Oh, wrong panel. Or wrong page, I should say. And this is for the shadow on her collar. Let's darken that up a little bit more. All right, and the highlight color. A little bit more. Didn't really do too much on her hair before. I think I'll just go really subtle on it. Yeah, I think that looks good. And we'll call it a day on her. All right, let me get back so I can look at all my pages together again, see where we're at. Let me go through and save them. That's always important. All right, let's go ahead, and I got the skin tones on this guy right here. Let's go ahead and get the skin tones on his hands done. Let's see this, and then the highlight color. So I'm approaching these pages a lot more like a digital painter, I suppose. You know, where I'm not really going in there and making selections. The only selections I have is like from the flats. But I'm thinking, oops, more as a painter, telling a story with the colors, the lighting, and everything. And I think it definitely works a lot better with this type of style from Andres. So that'll work. Next up, this orange prison suit. All these pages from the first graphic novel. Let me see. Get rid of that. And get rid of that multiply layer. Alright, so we kind of have a gradient kind of going on top first. And then with the highlight color, oops, This one, yes. And the top part is going to be where the light is hitting first. So I'm pushing down harder there and then just kind of letting up on the pressure as I go down. It's kind of hard to make out some of these folds, so you know, it's one of those things when we're not trying to go for a super realistic style or anything like that. So we have a little bit of leeway. You know, we just kind of go in there and kind of scribble some lines, and then it looks, you know, looks like a fold. Kind of matches the art style. There you go. I think that looks pretty good. And then for this guy, the same thing. We'll get that real subtle gradient going first, and then we'll start with the highlights on it. I'm just going to kind of go in a little bit. I went a little bit too light on some of these bits, so I'm just going to kind of go in a little bit and bring the shadow a little bit more back. It doesn't have to be too much, just a little. Yeah, looks pretty good. All right, oops, that's too small. Let me get rid of that one. So again, I can check out my pages. All right, they seem to be balancing pretty well together now. And I think we'll take care of this creepy zombie doctor guy. I'm not exactly sure what his story is. But to think, yeah, we'll knock him out and then call it an episode. When we come back, we'll finish up on the last guy. I think it's Dr. Is it Harding? I have to check my script again. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. This here, it's going to be kind of a scarry type of flesh, I guess. This should be a lot of fun. Is that good? Yeah, it looks alright. So just kind of going in, keeping in mind where our highlights are going to come from, but kind of drawing a scarry type of texture, I guess. Nice. When I get to the next color, you'd probably see it a little bit better. It's really subtle right now. I see a little bit better with that gradient map on. I go a little bit lighter, a little bit more flesh tone. I think it's kind of a piece of the puzzle that a lot of people are missing when it comes to coloring is, you know, remembering that everything is going to have a different texture. You know, as I'm coloring this guy's weird, dead, rotting skin, I don't know. You know, it's gonna be a different texture than, you know, the metal of this guy's cybernetics. So you just gotta kind of keep that in mind as you're coloring. Yeah, it's just something, you know, people kind of forget. You know, and also that'll look different from a wooden texture as well. You know, if you have like a piece of wood in your frame. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind when you're rendering pieces. And it could be, you know, just making subtle changes, like if you're doing like a lasso and grad type of style, you know, or like I'm doing where you're painting, you know, make it a little bit more loose and, you know. Let's see, let me grab the skin tone colors here. Shadow and light. Most of the shadows here are going to be in black, so I don't have to worry about those too much. get some of this metal stuff down. You can see here, I'm just kind of more like to show like a different texture. You know, I'm just kind of painting it in, you know, a lot smoother than I was with the skid, where it's like a lot more sketchy. And you can see like that, you see. Okay. And this part of him hasn't been shown yet, so it's just kind of a little bit lighter version. And can't see that on here. Maybe a little bit. Oops. And then his jacket will be the same tones that the nurse has. Let me just deselect that a bit. I'm just kind of looking at the highlights and stuff like that, where I'm going to put these guys. I think we'll do like a rim light on this top edge. And on the left here. And I'll probably go a little bit lighter with that as well. I'll just work this in. Alright, now go ahead and lighten up that rim light a little bit more. I'll go ahead and introduce that a little bit more. Oops, let me turn that off. Introduce this a little bit more on his head as well. Now we're just kind of introducing what's known as a core shadow. And it's pretty much just a little bit of darkness that's going to separate your lightest point, that rim light, away from, this midpoint here. And it just makes that rim light look a little bit brighter. It's kind of blending it in a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's get some highlights in here. I'm doing kind of like the same thing we did with the bubbles, where, big highlight on the top and then more subtle highlight on the bottom, just to add a little bit of reflection and interest to it. And give a more glassy type of feel. That does it. I kind of want to tie him in a little bit more with this background. So I'll try it with just the jacket first. I'm going to do a new layer. I'll just set that to multiply. And grab my trusty bluish color that I always like to use. Let me bring that up. It's right here, about in the middle. So that's set to multiply. I'm just going to erase a little bit into that. Liking where it's going, but I just don't think it's quite there yet. I'm just erasing out of that blue that I just filled it with. I just want to see how this looks really quick. Again, it's like one of my favorite things is always experimenting, trying out different things. You never know like what you're gonna find that might work. Overlay. Nope. No. I like something like that. It's more subtle. That's not too bad. All right, let's add a little bit of that blue into the head up here so it works a little bit better. All right, a little bit into the headpiece. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to merge that down a little bit. Need to do here. Let's see, go up to my brush. Get that. Let's get a little bit darker color in there for these shadows. See how that's gonna look. And then yeah, maybe I should just use this one. Oops. Just kind of bring those back a little bit. All right, and just kind of make a little bit of adjustments on here because I feel it's getting a little bit lost down here. So again, we'll just want to darken that up a little bit. And get to our blue. Let's see, what color did I have here? Is this grayish green, which I like. It's too much. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I was having an issue with this color being too close to this color, so I just kind of wanted to do something. Yeah, I think that does a nice job of flattening it out, I think. Let me start from down here. Yeah, I think that works very well. All right, save that. I'm not sure where we're at on time. I'm pretty sure we're over. But yeah, that's saved. Shrink that one there back down. So we can look at that. Save. Turn our gradient maps back on so we can see what they're really going to look like. And it's coming along. So I think all we have now is just the good doctor, and so we'll get to that in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and you can check out more of my color stuff on my DeviantArt page. That's lummage.deviantart.com. And if you haven't already, join the Facebook fan page. Usually I'm answering questions over there, posting up articles I find interesting about color and whatnot. That's facebook.com/lummage1. That's the number 1. And I'll put the links in the description as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.